Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, Kilos and Cosplay. My name is Sydney, and today we are doing a Twisted Wonderland unboxing, or more specifically the Octavinelle dorm. So we have all of the Nendoroids and the scale figure of Azul. I think that's how you pronounce it. Azul? Let me know if I'm wrong. But I'm very excited to finally unbox these. These have been staring at me for months. But it was a really rough day, and I'm like, you know what is gonna really just boost my mood? Finally unboxing some of these figures. And I've been really into Twist right now because they have an event going on in the game, which I highly recommend. Like, all the cards are beautiful. Like, I'll put on the screen, I love like this, like a fairy event or something. I love it. It's so pretty, so highly recommend start playing. I very much enjoy playing the game. I really only play heavily more during events, so I'm a little behind on still things, but I have completed the Octavinelle like storybook, I guess. So if you don't know what Twisted Wonderland is, it's basically like Disney villains but like anime boy styled, and it's really fun. So it's like you kind of get to see how certain villains translate. They say this is like the Little Mermaid story and this is Ursula kind of based, and it's very interesting what they have done with the storylines for all the different ones. So I highly recommend it. I'm actually not like a big Disney person, but I really love it, and I love kind of how they put this twist onto the like story and how it is more focused on villains as opposed to the actual like main people in the story. But it's really cool. I highly recommend playing the game. It's fun. It's fun. A lot of very just beautiful characters. Very interesting, especially like how the system and the world is set up. I don't want to spoil it. I'm trying to like figure out how to like word things without spoiling, because it's such like a game that you just have to get into and like really see how well it's done. Because like certain moments, like especially towards the ends of the story, they're really cool, and it's a very unique concept of what happens. It's so fun though, so highly recommend playing that game. It's free to play. I've never paid money and I do pretty well in it, so like if you kind of grind out in the game, you should be able to like at least get a good chunk of things going. So you don't have to, like, you could definitely get away with not paying, which I know is like, that's a huge thing. Like, I would love games that I can just grind in and not have to pay money. So, because like I need the money to go towards my figures. Alright, we will go ahead and obviously start with the Nendoroids. I did get the pre-order bonuses for Floyd and Jade. And always the pre-order bonuses come with like a button. I don't have theirs on me. I will post a picture, but I do have one of Jamil's. So you always just kind of get these like little buttons. So it's not like the greatest pre-order bonus because I really don't care about buttons, but I'll take it. I kind of got into collecting them a little late, so I did miss a lot of the house wardens, which are always like the main kind of villain based characters in the story. So Azul is their like lead basically, so he's obviously more based off of Ursula's design and kind of Ursula's style. I did have to pick him up on the pre-owned section, and Nendoroids can get really expensive, especially for the Twist ones, because they are Aniplex, so they're not easily available on every site. Like I can't get it on Ami. You can't even get it on Good Smiles like site. You can only get it through Aniplex, or I get mine either Nen Game or Hobby Genki, depending on which one has them open, because they will sell out quick. They do kind of randomly reopen, but you do have to like put your email in kind of like and catch it right at the right time. And I will say those sites, at least in my opinion, I feel like they kind of hike the price up a little bit like randomly as the pre-order date comes more to a close, or depending how quick they sold out. So that's kind of sucky. I basically have all the rest of them pre-ordered. I think they have all of them out, or not all of them out, but like all of them are at least up for pre-order or out that you can get them. You can get them on the Ami pre-owned section. That's how I was able to get Azul, and I got them for a pretty good price. But typically on there, you will not find them less than like $80 to $100 and something, especially like Melodis, I think that's how you say his name, and I will post a picture of the two that or Ida, I think his name's Ida or something like that. Those two are like super expensive to get and super like high, like ridiculous cost, and they don't pop up too often. I do see them on even like Macari and stuff like that, and they're still always like $200, so that's very annoying. So if you want them, it's like you have to pre-order them. And I get it because like they are more limited than a typical Nendoroid, so that kind of is annoying, but what can you do? But I do really like the box designs. I think they're so pretty. They did a really good job with them. So we will actually start, I feel like we should start with Azul. So he didn't come with his pre-order bonus, I don't think. And he has an AB condition. So, I mean, everything looks perfect. It really doesn't even look like he was open unless they resealed him up, and they did a fantastic job then. But I just love this, like, just design. The coloring is beautiful. I think these come, like, with a decent amount of, like, accessories that really work with the character. And I just love them. So, here, of course, you have like, kind of a more classic pose with his little cane. The scarf detailing is super cute. I love his design. It's so good. And then you always have them serving tea because they run kind of like this, I don't know, like cafe restaurant type thing, because their theme is very much like making money. And so you can have that, and then of course the golden contract, which you can end up kind of basically being stuck to doing whatever they want if you sign this contract. So that's a big thing in their story. And then like this little thing ends up on like the characters' heads when they are under the contract, especially if they do something that they're not supposed to. So that's what that little weird thing is. But overall, I think they do a really good job. I mean, they are simple, and it is kind of annoying how expensive they are, but overall, I still really like them. And they're always like pretty great quality, so I would recommend them. Okay, so here is what they come with all of the little accessories and the plastic thing. Of course, got 2 extra bonus faceplate, or not bonus, 2 extra faceplates. Little T, little control-y sign you're in a contract with them type thing. The golden contract was actually looks really good, so I'll get a nice little close-up of that. They did a pretty good job with the little details on that. And then, of course, his cane. And then in the back, you do get the added things like the tray, his hat, and then his little, like, I guess, extra handpiece. But he looks so good. I think they did a fantastic job on these. They really, I feel like, embody the character. Okay, here he is. He looks really good. I love even the details to the bottom of the shoes. Like, they added like a silver. It looks so good. His little details, even like his scarf and stuff. I love that. That looks amazing. His glasses look really good too. I think they did a perfect job with his like little beauty mark as well. I literally can't get over how like less realistic like those glasses look. Like, they look better than I feel like any glasses I got for some of my Nendoroids. Like, they did a fantastic job on that. Of course, his little coat too looks so good. I'm kind of holding it because it's obviously not like super stable, but it sits pretty well. He's got his little purple socks. They did, and like the hair sculpting is literally fantastic. They always, I feel, do a really good job with any of the Twisted Wonderland Nendoroids, and their hair sculpt always looks amazing. Like, look at that detailing, even like kind of like the undercut part. And like they do an amazing job lining it up to make the seam line look really like smooth. Oh, you can take out his like little piece right here. I guess, you know, to put the hat on, that would make sense. Okay, I thought I broke it, so I was like, oh no. But no, that makes a lot of sense. That's cool. I do really like that. It looks so good. I'm literally always impressed with these. Like, they may be expensive, they may be kind of a pain to get, but if you are a big Twisted fan, I highly recommend getting them. I think they have all turned out amazing. All the ones I have, I love. And they're worth the effort to get. Like, he just looks so good. I literally am just obsessed. Like, even, I feel like even some scale figures don't have like this great of like a hair design. Oh my god. I mean, I feel like they just really nailed his face too. It's so good. And then they also did a fantastic job with the little like piece that does all the controlling. It's so good. Everything here is so good. And next, of course, we're gonna unbox the twins. We got Floyd and Jade. It's such, I feel like they did honestly a really good job with adding just a hair of like little details to make them have a bit of their own personality, which is very important. So here we have Floyd, and then I think they did such a good job like nailing that like expression that he does a lot. Everything, oh my god, the little socks and everything are so good. The teeth look amazing. Can't wait to see them like actually like up close. Fantastic job with just everything. Like they just really nail, I feel, their personalities within the face plates that they pick. Of course, doing some serving. So cute. Got a little wand as well. I love their like eyes. They're always so like intense. I just love them. And then moving into Jade. See, like they do just such a good job, I feel like, still giving them their own kind of like more distinguished facial expressions. I just think they turned out so good. I love the little tea. I feel like I'm gonna have them serving. Like, I just feel like that's so fitting. Of course, his little wand. I just think they did such a good job. I love it. It's so cute. Alright, of course, here is Jade, just kind of out of the plastic. Little tea kettles and little serving trays. Everything in here looks really good. I can't get over the teeth detail even on like, because you can only see it a little bit on Jade's, but like even like they did such a good job. So I'll get like a good close-up of that in B-roll. But no, everything looks so good. All right, here is Jade. He looks so good. And I love just like the subtleness of like the different eye kind of color, like darker green to like a yellow. Looks so good. The hair shading is beautiful. Like that's what I want out of everything, to have at least some type of like detailing to make it not look so flat. So I think that turned out so good. And then of course got the little earring. And then his little like socks are so cute. I don't think you can see him on these. Maybe it's on the other leg one. Yeah, he has a different leg one, but so cute. Love the little like tucks. These are just fantastic. I am always impressed with these. They always feel very stable. They don't feel like they're gonna fall apart. And again, such a good job like really kind of adding some texture to what would be kind of flatter hair, and like making the seam lines not like look super obnoxious. So always impressed. He looks so cute. Look at him. Oh, I love them. They're so snarky. So cute. You know, like also on like this faceplate, like if you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see the details too well in the teeth. No, I don't think it's pulling through too much, but like the detailing is insane. Like they did a really good job. And then of course we have Floyd in his little packaging. Oh, he's got a little wine glass instead. I love that. I love that they do have different like drinks that they're carrying, so that is super cute. He gets 2 trays. His teeth are cracking me up on this one. Oh my gosh, like it looks so good. The teeth details are fantastic. Even the details to the tray are like really nice. Right, so same thing as Jade. The hair detailing is beautiful, the eye detailing is beautiful, and look at those teeth. Oh, they turned out so good. And I love like he's like more like, I guess, unkempt, more relaxed, so like his like bow tie and everything's undone. You can kind of see a bit of his chest. I love it. And of course like this, like I'm assuming it's an earring, right? On like the opposite side. I love the subtle difference between the twins and like how they still can have their own kind of personalities. And this one you can see his little socks and it's so good. I think, does he have different shoes? No, I think he has the same. But it's just like they did such a good job making basically, in a sense, like the same figure, just with like the right amount of like the personalities done, which I was a little nervous because I feel like, you know, they could have gotten really lazy and just been like, all right, here's the basic bare minimum, even though they do have like different personalities. So I'm very glad that they really pulled through with that. Again, I can't get over the hair. It's beautiful. Like, it's so good. He looks so cute. I definitely want to do this faceplate, I think. I love the little teeth. If you can kind of see on this one, like, see that little like teeth there too? I do kind of love that as well. I love that face that he makes in the game. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to decide, but these all turned out fantastic, like the twist ones usually do. Highly recommend them if you were interested in picking them up. I definitely think they're worth it. I would try to stick it out for a good deal, but it is kind of hard because I feel like even the expensive ones sell really quickly. So it's up to you how much it's worth it to you. But if you are interested, I would definitely start keeping an eye out to see if any more pre-orders open for any of the ones that are currently out. I can't remember. I think there might be like 4 or 5. So definitely check out like Nin Game or Hobby Genki, especially if you're like US based, because that's where I find them. All right, on to the big Azul. So I also, if you want any of the scale ones, same deal. It's by Aniplex, so it's harder to get. I think there was one in the Ami Ami pre-owned section when I checked last night. He could be gone, but I will say that the Aniplex figures are always expensive, and they do typically dip in cost, so it might be worth waiting it out depending how much it's worth it to you, or if you want the pre-order bonuses, which it's nothing like crazy, honestly. So even if you didn't get the pre-order bonuses, I don't think it's like that big of a deal. I just went ahead and pre-ordered because I loved how this figure turned out and I didn't want to fight for it. So with this, you do get this kind of like little art board. I don't know exactly what to call it because it's not a shikishi. It might just be kind of like a big postcard in a sense. But you do get, it's just the same artwork that you see on the box and what the figure is. And then it has like the little stamp and everything on the back. Mine's still in the plastic, so sorry for like the heavy glare. I'll do some like more close-up of it, but it's the artwork that they used for the figure itself. Then you also get this, which I don't really 100% know what that is either. It's just kind of like a close-up of him. So kind of like another little card. So if those are worth it to you, then yes, pre-ordering or waiting to hopefully see someone sell it with the bonus, then yes, I think it would be worth getting, only if you really love like the character and like the story, because otherwise these are in the higher end. I think like $180-ish, if I recall right. I could be wrong, but sometimes you can get a really good deal with somebody selling them, so worth keeping an eye on like Makari and again Ami Ami pre-owned. They've been waiting so long to finally open them. From what I can tell in the box, he looks great. I'm super excited. The base is fantastic. I cannot wait. But the box is gorgeous. And see there again the art. And then you just get like clear panels on the other side. I honestly feel like they could have gotten away with like doing a smaller box, honestly. I feel like they could have compact or even like put something like in the back, kind of like they do with like the Nendoroids, like the hat and details and stuff like that. I think they could have like compact this a bit more, but oh well. Ooh, so even when you open the box, it has little extra details on there too. Yeah, see, I honestly feel like they could have gotten away with like doing this a little different. Like this blister pack is kind of ridiculous. I will say like all the plastic that they had like around it, like that one like sheet kind of covering was super annoying because it was also like attached to the tape. So I was having to like cut through that and cut through the tape, but also it's kind of hard to find where the tape pieces were because it blended in with the plastic. So that was kind of irritating. And again, once I finally got them out, there's really no reason for the blister pack to be that big. I think he still would have been safe in a more compact one. But I digress. Because see, here he is. Oh, he looks so good. But he's smaller. That's why it's like he really did not need that big of a blister. He is already pre-assembled on the base. I just have to put in the staff and the contract. But oh my god, everything looks good. The details to the scarf are beautiful. The tentacles like coming up with like this black like kind of watery base looks so good. His details to his socks look so good. I will say he feels a little wobbly, but like I think he's fine, but it just like kind of feels a little wobbly. But my goodness, I'm like obsessed with the base. Like they knocked it out of the park with his detailing. I do think him himself is a little small, but I mean, what do you expect? I think he's a 1/7, but his face looks really good, I feel. Not the best, like not like, I will say like a lot of Aniplex figures are kind of just okay. I think the concept, fantastic. Some of the other details on this, amazing. The face, it's pretty good. I think they captured it. It's like the mouth is a little weird, but the glasses, everything else looks good. I would say his hair shading's a little lackluster. I almost feel like the Nendoroid hair looks a little better for some reason. But yeah, not the world's greatest. That's why it's like I do see why these dip in price, because they're still good figures. But are they as good as Aniplex is charging? Absolutely not. So I highly always recommend waiting for Aniplex figures until they release, unless you're like, yes, this price is worth it to me. I think mine, I really can't remember what I paid. I think it was like 100 and something even with shipping, so it wasn't bad, and to me it was worth it. I do think like overall, like the more I look at his face, the better it looks, but it still could use a bit more. But I do think the overall execution and flow of this figure is so good. I love it. Like this is like the perfect like simple yet dynamic base that I've ever seen, because it's like not like obnoxious. Like you can kind of see behind me, like over in that corner, I have my Hinata one, and her base and like just everything is just almost too much that it takes away from Hinata herself. I feel like this really elevates him and doesn't take away the shine of the character. So I'm really, really happy with this. The tentacle wrapping around his leg, it's insane. Like, God, I love the color scheme. Like black and purple is like some of my favorite like kind of color combination anyways. So and like he's got a nice shiny, like I don't know what this part's called on like a suit, but I love it, and especially the socks and like his scarf. It's so good. So let me go ahead and quickly put in his staff and the contract. Actually, before I put the staff in, I don't know why I never realized that it's actually an octopus. Oh my god, the detailing to that. Oh my goodness. Why did I never realize that before? Oh my god, I love that so much. And then here is a close-up of the contract. I think it looks so good. I'm assuming these like little imprints are where his fingers will hold it. Oh, look at that. Like even like the little like, I guess, what is that? Like the emblem? What are those called? I forget what those are called, but even that looks really good. Okay, here he is with the contract and his staff. I will say they just kind of loosely like sit, especially this, like, so it's not like as like snapped in place as I personally would like, which is whatever. You can kind of still see it's like very loose. So it's very easy to just kind of move around. I kind of wish it would be a little more stabilized. Okay, so the fingers also that hold the contract move really easy, so it's not like a big problem to put that in, which is a relief. But it is kind of a pain to line up the fingers, because like there's also a spot where like his thumb goes on the back to kind of like balance it too, and then the two fingers in the front, and it like doesn't like feel like they like the front fingers don't line up as well when you kind of get it to the back. I think I got it, but it's just very like loosely placed. So I do again wish there was a bit more sturdiness to it, because I feel like one knockout, like you tap this figure by accident and that's gonna fall out and you could lose them. They're like super small pieces, but still something you could lose. So that's something that's that's why it's like Aniplex is just kind of, they really need to tone it down with how much they are charging, especially for the effort that they are putting in. This easily should have only been like $130 in my opinion at most. But I still love them. I personally love how a lot of the Twisted ones turned out. This is definitely obviously more for a niche group. You gotta really be a fan to justify, I feel, the prices. Otherwise, I do feel like these are skippable figures if you're just kind of more casual about the game or don't care about it. So leave that up to your discretion and your feels towards the game in general. That will honestly be the biggest determining factor. But I do love the character designs so much, so they're worth it to me. And yeah, here he is in all his glory. I can't wait to do some B-roll. Yeah, the more I look at the base, the more I still do really love it, but I do kind of wish they did a little bit more with this. But overall, probably one of the better executed figure like bases that I've seen in a while. So I just feel like it's missing a little something. But I do think they did a really good job with the tentacles. So yeah, here he is. Alright guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this Twisted Wonderland haul. I have more Twisted Wonderland figures and stuff that I will be going through. Hopefully I'll get those unboxed soon. I got a lot on Nendoroids and another scale figure, so can't wait to finally get into those. I don't know if I'm gonna unbox any more tonight. Alright guys, let me know in the comments if you play Twisted Wonderland and who is your favorite house board or just character in general. But alright, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!